No, I don't want it.
If your child refuses pap, cereal, or any other baby food like this, don't give up on them yet. Try this creamy picky eaters pap instead. It is filling and tastes just like milk. If you have tried everything and your kid still rejects pap, cereal, or any other baby food, this is the one that finally works. And I tell you, it is very filling and keeps them full for a long period of time, helping them to add weight. So, what exactly goes into this creamy picky eaters pap? First, we are starting with 2 cups of millet, which is a nutritious whole grain that gives our pap a wholesome base. Now, let's talk about millet for 1 minute because this is a secret weapon for picky eaters, and you may be surprised why I started with millet. Most of us grew up on corn pap, like our parents fed us yellow corn pap, white corn pap, but sis, corn pap digests too fast. 1 hour later, your child is crying, "Mommy, I am hungry again." But millet is different. Millet is what I called a filling pap. It is a slow digesting grain, so it keeps them full for longer. And for picky eaters, millet is kind of milder in taste than corn. Corn can be a bit sharp and sour, but millet is smooth, light, and takes flavor so well. So that is why when you pair it with other ingredients, it tastes like cake, right? Yeah, that is why we picked millet. Once you're very certain that your millet is properly washed, free from sand, stones, or anything that will discomfort your child, go ahead and add enough water to cover the millet, and you'll be soaking this for the next 3 days. Next up, we are using 2 to 3 pieces of unripe green plantain and chopsters. Wash it very well. Oh. Now listen to me carefully. If you're dealing with a picky eater, this is the ingredients you cannot skip. Unripe plantain is not sweet, I know, but that is exactly why it is powerful. You see, picky eaters are already getting too much sugar from biscuits, juice, and sweet things, and sugar makes them to crave more sugar. It is a cycle. And do you know what unripe plantain does? It breaks that cycle. It is full of resistant starch, and this is a special kind of fiber that feeds their tummy good bacteria, help their digestion, and keep them full for longer. No more bloating, no more running to the toilet because of too much sugar, too much sweet, or too much bobo, fizzy drinks, and all of that. And here is what will shock you. Do you know that unripe plantain is also packed with potassium and vitamins, so that while they are rejecting their eggs and vegetables, this one pap is still giving them nutrients that they need to grow? I know that some people add ripe plantain for sweetness, and yes, you can decide to add one ripe plantain if you want, but for me, I am keeping it unripe on purpose because I want this pap to nourish them, not just to sweeten them. So we are not just trying to make them to eat, we are trying to make them to eat well, so that even when they are being picky, they are still eating and they are being nourished. So that green plantain that you see, don't look down on it. It is doing the heavy lifting in this recipe. Remember, when you're dealing with a picky eater, you don't want those few spoonfuls to just be about filling their tummy. You want them to contribute something that is nourishing to their body as well. That is why I am not just thinking about making a pap that a picky eater will accept. I am thinking about making every ingredient to count. So we are keeping the plantain green, and we are going to wash it thoroughly, and we are going to add it straight up into our blend. Next ingredient, dates. So I measured out 1 full cup of dry dates and I proceeded to wash them, clean them up, and I will go ahead to pit them as well. And after pitting, look at what we have here. This is our pitted date. We'll just go ahead and select or remove the seeds from the date. And do you know that the seeds of this date is also very powerful? You can grind them with a strong grinding mill and use it as your coffee if you're an adult. And chopsters, please, dates in picky eaters pap are non-negotiable. I know what you're thinking in your mind. Date, isn't this so sweet? Yes, it is sweet, but it is the good sweetness. It is the good sugar. You see, when a child is a picky eater, they are already rejecting so many things. They are rejecting vegetables, meat, eggs, etc. So where are they getting their iron from? Where is the energy coming from? This is where date comes in. Date fixes that. Do you know that 1 cup of date gives iron? Iron for their brain development, iron so they are not always tired and cranky, iron so that they have energy and all of that. Dates also give natural sweetness, so you don't need to add sugar after you have added date to this pap. So there is no sugar crash, no hyperactivity in your child. 30 minutes later, your child is still calm with steady energy. And here is the part that will blow your mind. Dates are very soft, yeah, and they blend so smoothly with whatever you add them. So even if your child notice vegetable in their food and reject it, they will never know that dates are in their food. They will just drink it thinking they are taking cakes. The third ingredient is cinnamon, but not just any cinnamon, chopster. We are using the Ceylon cinnamon. Now, I need you to hear me on this one because this is important for your picky eater. There are 2 types of cinnamon, Ceylon and cassia. Cassia is the common one you see everywhere in the market. It is cheaper and it is affordable, but Ceylon is what we want. Now, how do you know which is which? Look at this stick that I'm holding. Ceylon looks like this. This is the Ceylon cinnamon that I'm holding. It is rolled up in many thin layers like paper. When you break it, it is not empty. But cassia is thick, hard, and it looks like hollow inside, like this one that I'm holding. Can you see that the Ceylon cinnamon is folded inside? But the cassia has a hollow inside. Why does this matter? This is because cassia has something called coumarin, and too much coumarin is not good for our children's liver, especially if they are eating this pap often. But Ceylon cinnamon, it has very little coumarin, so it is safe for your babies. It is gentle and it is milder. And the smell, oh my god, chopstar, the smell is amazing. It smells sweet, mild, and warm, not so sharp and not so powerful. And that's exactly why picky eaters love it. Next is clove, and we are using just a little. See, I am going to divide this portion into 3 and I'm using only one part of it. Cloves are magic for picky eaters. They help with digestion, so there is no tummy ache after eating. And they are very warm and they smell good as well. So just a little goes a long way. Don't overdo it. So we're just going to transfer the Ceylon cinnamon and the cloves into the dates so they all soften together. So after 72 hours, let's check our millet. See this, it has fermented very well. It is now soft and it now has this kind of sour smell. But that sour smell is actually very good. That is fermentation, and that is what makes the pap easy to digest for picky eaters. Now, why do we ferment pap? We ferment pap because fermentation breaks down the millet, so even children with sensitive tummies can take this without bloating or constipation. Plus, it adds good bacteria to their gut, and we all know good gut is equal to healthy child. Now, we are going to drain out the water and rinse it out one more time. Then everything goes into the blender. The millet, our soaked dates, the plantain, everything. We're going to blend it until it is very smooth. If your blender is not strong, please don't stress it. Take it to the commercial blender and make sure they wash it very well first. Now, if you have more children, you can double or triple this recipe. Now that everything is blended, can you see the mixture that we got? Can you see how smooth and very creamy this looks already? My blender did justice to this pap and is looking so smooth. Now, We are going to transfer this into a clean muslin cloth and we are going to start extracting our pap. You're going to add water little by little and squeeze and massage the mixture. Keep extracting until you have gotten all the beautiful pap milk out. So you're going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until you get out all of the milk. And at any point you notice that the pap is becoming too thick and no milk is coming out, go ahead and add more water. You need to be adding water to extract all of the milk until what you're going to have will look like chaff. Yes, you're going to have plantain fiber and millet fiber in this. That's the chaff. And I know what you are thinking, Chubbytrition, is should I throw this chaff away? No, Chubstars, you're not gonna throw this away. In this house, on this channel, we don't waste food. You're going to take this chaff, blend it smooth again. That's when it is dry. You're going to blend it to be smooth, and when you're making it, just go ahead and add hot water, stir it together, and boom, you have swallow for your children. Healthy swallow full of fiber. So from one recipe you got pap and you got swallow. That is how we stretch our money and still feed our children well. After extracting the milk, allow the pap mixture to sit on the stove so that all the solid can settle at the bottom. I'm so sorry I didn't record the clip for this last part where I allowed the water to settle, but I'll explain everything well. Just allow this to sit for a few hours. You will notice that the heavier mixture, which is the pap, settles at the bottom while the excess water settles at the top. You're going to pour out only that excess water, and don't worry, the dates, the plantain and the rest of our blended ingredients haven't disappeared. They are still part of the settled pap. And once the excess water is removed, transfer the thick pap into a clean bag or pillowcase and allow the remaining water to drain until you get that beautiful pap consistency. Chopstars, look at this. After draining, this is what we have. Our pap has solidified beautifully. Can you see it? So inside here we have millet, we have plantain, we have dates. Every single ingredient is still here. And remember what I told you, the sweetness is still there. The only thing we poured out was the excess water. All the nutrients and all the goodness is locked inside this. Now, you don't have to prepare everything at once. Simply scoop out the portion your little one is going to eat and keep the rest for later. For storage, put the remaining pap in a clean airtight container and refrigerate it. If you have made a larger batch, you can also portion it and freeze it so you can bring it out only where you need to feed your baby. Now let me show you how to cook this for your child and get the absolute best out of it. This is where picky eaters start asking for more. Don't go anywhere, the cooking part is next. So first of all, like your usual pap, dissolve it with clean room temperature water, then go ahead and boil water, and once the water boils, pour it straight up into the pap and then continue to pour it until your pap solidifies like this. You will notice that you have a very thick and creamy pap just like this. And then you would notice that I didn't pour too much water into the pap. I still left some parts uncooked. Yes, this is because I am still going to set it back on fire and cook the pap because of the plantain that is in it. That is why I left some parts of the pap still uncooked so that it will have the ability to cook on fire. Now stir it consistently until everything has turned beautifully well, and then you're going to transfer this into a small sauce pot and you're going to cook it until the plantain cooks. You will know that your pap is ready when it begins to boil and then it bubbles up and all of that. You would know that it is ready to serve. Chopstars, one important thing before we continue. This particular picky eater's pap needs to be kept cold. If you have a refrigerator or freezer, you are good to go. If you don't have a freezer but you have a refrigerator, that is perfectly fine. So after preparing the pap in the raw state, just keep it properly chilled and use it within a short period of time. If you don't have a refrigerator at all, I honestly wouldn't recommend making a large batch of this pap for storage. Don't try to preserve this particular pap recipe with the traditional method of pouring it into a bowl, pour water on top and be discarding the water in it over time. No, it will go bad. For your little ones, please don't take chances with stored food. Make only what you can safely keep refrigerated or frozen. And voila, Your baby's picky eater's food is ready. Can you see how beautiful this is? Look at the texture, smooth and rich. Now you can pair this with anything: pureed banana, pureed apple, fresh banana slices, strawberries, any fruit of choice that you have. And the aroma that is coming from this, no picky eater can resist this smell, chopsters. Just go ahead and add any milk of choice, full cream milk, breast milk, or anything. And the best part of this is that this meal is filling. You know exactly what your child is eating. There is no chemical, no guesswork, no preservative. This meal is suitable for babies from 6 months and above, and you can use it as breakfast, dinner, or any time of the day. It is very, very okay. Now, I know some of you will say, "Chubbytritionist, I'm a busy mom. I don't have all the time to go through this process." See, I got you covered. Maki Healthy Food has a picky eater strawberry pap made specifically for moms who want a convenient, nourishing options for their little ones. And our product has a beautiful touch of strawberry, beetroot, and other carefully selected ingredients, giving it a naturally appealing color and delicious taste. So, if you want the convenience without going through all the washing, blending, sieving, and draining you have just watched me do, just order our Picky Eaters Pap from Maki Healthy Food and you are good to go. To order the Maki Eaters Picky Eaters Pap, please, the link is in the description box and also in the comment section. Do well to get a pack or two for your family and you will never regret it. And the best part is that it is sweet. That's the secret. And it has a very nice color and aroma that will keep your baby asking for more. If you enjoyed this recipe, please give it a thumbs up, share this video with another mom who might find it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you'll be trying this recipe. I will see you in the next video. Bye!